Hey everyone, Felicia Raquel here, and I'm so excited that you stopped in on my YouTube channel. Now, if you are seeing this, it's because this message is definitely for you, and it may be a reminder, or maybe it's some message that just needs to be sent to somebody that you know. So thanks so much for stopping by. Now, today my topic is why you must move before you feel ready. So powerful. Now, I'm gonna relate this to business. Now, I've been coaching people in business for some time now, and a lot of people have said that what they wish they had done sooner is had start earlier on their journey in business. Now, this might be you, this might be somebody that you know that you're watching in their growth phase, where it's something that they really want. They talk about it all the time. They have visions about how their business is gonna look. They have all these great ideas. They write things down all the time. They already know the logo concepts. They know exactly what they're going to be doing, how they're doing it. They have everything mapped out. They know their client base, but they're not starting. You need to start. Start, because guess what? It's not going to be perfect. It's not going to be what you expect in the beginning. You're going to get a whole bunch of no's if you're, reaching out to clients, if you're trying to give your proposals out, but that's going to really build character. And I'll tell you, I can attest to that, because that was me when I first started my business. So I first started my very first business in 2003, and I knew that I wanted to actually have a business. I knew I didn't want to work for somebody. I started to develop certain skills where I said to myself that I know that I can do this. I know that I have certain talents. Now, we all have talents and we all have gifts. And sometimes I know it may not feel like it. You might be looking at somebody else like, oh, I wish I could do that. But we all have our own gifts and we have our own skills. And for me, that skill of mine was really entertaining then. I had built a really solid dance background. I love to dance. For those dancers out there who can relate, I really loved movement. I love the fluidity, can't even say that word right now. Fluidity? Fluidity? Fluidity. Whatever, we'll get that. Anyhow, my whole point here is that I knew that I didn't want to work for somebody. I knew that I definitely wanted to have my own business. I wanted to lead a tribe. I wanted to build people. I wanted to create careers, not jobs, but careers. There's a difference. I wanted to just be free. There's nothing like going to a place of work and you hate it. Can anyone relate? Like when you get up every single day and you know that the place that you're going to make your money, you actually hate doing that. It brings a feeling of like stress out where you're not looking forward to it. In fact, it's like the night before when you think of Sunday, when you're on Sunday, coincidentally today's Sunday, when you're on Sunday and you're thinking about the Monday and you're like, I don't want to do it. And that just brings like your cortisol levels up. Like you start feeling stress and anxiety about it because you hate it so much. Can anyone relate with me? Because that was literally the feeling I had before I took the leap of entrepreneurship, right? So I said to myself that I definitely want to do something different, and it can't be working under somebody. It cannot be somebody telling me when my lunch break is and for how long. It cannot be somebody telling me that I can only go on vacation for 7 days or 14 days and I need to put a request in. It cannot be somebody hovering over me to make sure I'm doing what I'm doing and how I'm doing it and correct me. It cannot be somebody bringing me into an office and giving me a performance review. I was not destined for that. Like that was just me personally. I just couldn't, it didn't sit well with me and my spirit. Like I have a fiery spirit. I love to create. I love to be free. I rather work 100 hours for myself than 40 hours for the man. You know what I mean? And when I say man, I mean like man or woman, just so we're clear. I don't want no backlash in my comments, but I just felt like for me, my goals, the way I envisioned myself was this person that can create and be free. And in turn, be able to create for others. And I learned that at a very early age. Now, mind you, I did go into corporate a little bit. I have experience working in the bank. And I was there for about 3 years. I think I was it was between age 19 to like 22, something like that. Everyone was super happy for me. They're like, oh my God, you got a corporate job. This is amazing. I'm not gonna tell you which bank, but I was working for the bank and got a lot of great experience that I can now put into coaching in an aspect of finance and understanding like how the banks work and all of that. And I'll leave those videos till later as we dive deeper. But, I realized that no, that is not for me. Even if I was the top of the pyramid in that industry, I would still not be happy because I wanted the freedom. I wanted the flexibility to create. So that was my story and how I actually started. So it was 2003. I said, back then I really, and I still do, have a passion for dancing, and not, the dancing on the pole or anything like that. I'm talking about like actual performing like an art on stage, and people come and they pay, and you know, anyone who's performed on cruise ships before, or anyone who's ever performed corporately before, stuff like that. And then also having a dream of owning several dance studios, which I was completely blessed to be able to do that. So yeah, that was how I started. It was a performance company, and we grew and we took it internationally, and we used to perform like 50 shows in a span of a month. Now, how many days are in a month again? 30 or 31. So imagine performing like 50 to 55 times in 1 month. So was I ready though when I started? Absolutely not. Did I know what I was doing? Absolutely not. I did not know what I was doing. I just knew I had a passion for it. And I started out by calling, 2 of my girlfriends, and I said, hey, this is an idea that I have. I really, really am passionate about this. Is it possible that you will come and join me? Would you join me and like help my business? And they were like, girl, of course, I will help you. It was amazing when I think back, and my 2 girls know who they are. We started performing just for free, just trying to put the pieces together and really trying to make a name for ourselves, so people knew like what we were doing, and we would give our services out for free. Now, I believe if it's not worth giving for free, it's not worth charging for. Again, like if you're not going to be able, if you don't give something out for people to test out your product, it's like, is it worth actually giving money for? So we did that for a long time until we started to get paid for it. And then it snowball affected. And then corporations wanted us. And then, people who were getting married wanted us. And then cruise lines wanted us. And it just evolved, and it continued to evolve. And then we did, background performing for artists and people who were also creatives and would collaborate with other people. And it just grew from there. And it was just such an amazing experience, and the people that you would meet and all of that, right? So it really does start to snowball effect. But guess what? It goes back to what I said. You have to actually start. You have to actually take that leap. Because if I was sitting there thinking for a moment that, okay, I actually started to make out the logo of how I wanted it. And back then, I'm not going to give up my age now, but it wasn't as easy to make a logo back then. I literally got a friend of mine to just take a picture of me right in front of the garage, and we drew out the silhouette, and then I put the name of the company. And that's literally how we made it. And I was super proud of that logo because, to a degree, like that was me. It was a silhouette of me. And that's how we started. Put it on a business card, and then I started to solicit our service. And I felt no way, because I, in my mind, had committed that this has to work. Yes, we're going to do this for a good amount of time for free. And then we started to tack on a little bit of a price, and then that price grew, and it started to become residual. And then we grew so much that we needed to actually get people to help us with the business. It wasn't no longer 3 girls. It ended up to be 5 girls, and 5 went to 10, and 10 went to 15, and 15 went to 20, and 20 went to, like, it was crazy. But it all started because I took the leap and I started to move. Now, on the business aspect of it, I had no idea what I was doing business-wise. I knew I loved to perform. I knew I loved the stage. I knew I was creative. I knew I loved building out costumes, and I loved music, and I loved all sorts of different musics and all different sounds and all of that. And then I wanted to diverse because, I used to be really into finance books, and if you read any finance books, you know that they talk about diversifying your portfolio. So I took this and I diversified my dance styles. So I'm talking about, if you can think of any dance style out there. Now, I'm Filipino Jamaican, so it's not just like reggae or what else Filipinos we listen to. It wouldn't even be like, no, Tinikling's our dance style, but Filipinos, we get down to, but we don't have like a certain category. A lot of our songs in Filipino, in Tagalog rather, is all like love songs, right? But I'm talking about think about dance styles where you can think of like Hawaiian, belly dance, Latin, Afro, Caribbean. We were doing Chinese, we were doing Japanese, we were doing Scottish, we were doing country. We were performing to like every culture's dance style. Whoever actually asked us as a performance company what we can do, we said yes. And we would go and figure it out. And we would show up in our best costumes, and we would show up with all this energy, and we would perform. It was amazing. It was actually really amazing. And it taught us a lot about ourselves. It taught us that there was no such thing as fear in that space, because we were going to figure it out, and we were so confident that we were. It didn't matter. Like, all of us were different backgrounds. We felt no ways performing for the Chinese community during Chinese New Year. We felt no way. We would bring out our big lion heads. We invested in the big Chinese lion heads, and we would go out there and we would put those bad boys on, and we would perform like nobody's business. And we did not, we did not upset anybody because they knew we were giving it our wholehearted dedication and hard work. Like we meant business when we were on stage. So I know I'm rambling here, but how does this relate to you? Let's bring it back home. How does it relate to you? Because it doesn't matter what season you're in. If you know you have an actual calling to start a business, if you feel it inside that this is for you and you want to take the leap, just start making moves in the right direction. Just start. It's not going to require, forget what, anyone has told you where you need to have all this money saved and you need to have all your ducks in a row in that aspect. It's not going to be perfect. But what it looks like is you starting to take a leap. I started with $0. I had 2 friends and I said, hey, I really want to do this. I'm going to start making out a logo, called my friends to make a logo. At that time, I had no websites, no nothing. I just said, I want to perform. I called up a few people and said, hey, I know you're having this event. How would you like some entertainment? They said yes. And we went on stage, performed. They loved it. We did that multiple times. And then people actually started to compensate us for our time and our efforts. And it just grew. And I was able to take that to being a 6-figure company in my early 20s, which I'm super, super proud of. Can that happen for you? Can that actually happen to the person right now watching this? And it doesn't have to be a dance company. It doesn't have to be a talent agency. It could be anything. It could be anything that your heart desires, anything that you have a calling for. Yes. I'm telling you, the answer is yes. Okay. So make sure that you don't get in your head because, fear is false evidence appearing real. It's false evidence appearing real. There's nothing that you have to lose. Just try, right? Most people they get in their head because they're afraid of people judging them. But why would you be afraid of people judging you? Those people, do they have businesses of their own? What are they actually doing with their lives? Take a moment and think about that. Like, what is the person who is judging you actually doing with their lives? I always say, and this is a famous quote, that you're an average of the 5 people that you surround yourself with. And I want that to sink in a little bit, because the reality is if you actually think about right now, the people that you're hanging out with, like the 5 people that you're hanging out with, what are they doing with their lives? Now, if you have somebody in that circle of yours that's doing better than you, that can pour into you, that can influence you in such a way that most people can't, then that's good. But the people who are around you that might be making you feel, like you can't do it, like you're not good enough, or they're judging you. Oh, why would you do that? Oh, that you're charging too much. Those people are probably not doing anything with themselves. Those people probably have the same issue and they just fear you rising because now you're going to be different than they are. Have you ever heard misery loves company? I know right now some of you guys are like, I know, right? Some of you, it's not even just your friends. It might even be your family. So, and that's a little bit harder to digest, right? Like, how can you say that, Felicia? But the truth is like, it could be a family member that you love so much. And I'm not saying that you don't love them, but in order for you to grow, you're going to have to change your circle just a little bit. Imagine this. You change your circle to become somebody that you're truly destined to become, right? So you got to step aside from the circle that you are with right now in order to grow. And you grow and you elevate to becoming this amazing man or this amazing woman. Now you can come back to that circle and pour into them to make them great. Wouldn't that be like the best ever? The fact that you can actually pour into them in ways that you can't right now because you're all the same. You're all the same. But it takes you to actually step outside to become great, to be the best version that you can become, to come back to that small circle to enlighten them. And hopefully, they'll be ready to be poured into. Because there's a lot of people, I tell you, they just love being stuck in their ways, right? And the sad thing is, guys, is the fact that, there's most people in this lifetime that won't actually be able to experience peace and freedom. They're gonna spend the majority, like their whole life, searching and searching and searching and searching for something that's already there. But if you, watching this video right now, if you actually take the leap to become that person that you know inside your soul is actually there, if you take that leap to go and self-develop your skills, to go and start that business, to take that step that you're so afraid of taking, but if you actually can build up enough courage, you take it. And you become so powerful and you're filled with an abundance of just greatness. And you go back to that circle and pour into them to make them great. I mean, that right there, man, that right there is just amazing. So I wanna also reference scripture because I believe in, a lot of people say that they wish they had a manual. They wish they had a manual to life. They've never lived before. They don't know what they're doing. They, a lot of things, you go and buy something and everything comes with a manual, right? But it's like, you have a baby, you have no idea, right? There's no manual for this baby. I had a friend just deliver a baby. It's her first baby. And it's amazing because just watching her figure this whole thing out, right? And she's like, I wish there was a manual because I have no idea what I'm doing, but I'm just loving this baby and I'm just gonna be the best mom that I can be, but I don't know if I'm actually doing it right. And that's the beauty of it. It's like, you're just doing everything that you can to mother. Now, what if I told you there actually is a manual, and that manual is your Bible? So for those of you who have not opened their Bibles in a long time, I encourage you to take a look at scripture because there's so many powerful stories that you can relate to. And what this message really relates to is, if we can, Matthew 14, chapter 20 to 29 is Jesus walking on water. Now, this speaks about Peter. Now, Peter was in a boat. Now, for those of you that don't know this story, the disciples were in a boat, and they thought they heard Jesus. Now, the quote actually, Matthew 14:28 says, Lord, if it's you, Peter replied, tell me to come to you on the water. And then Jesus replied, come, he said. Then Peter got down out of the boat and he walked on water towards Jesus. How powerful, right? So Peter actually walked on water. And in Matthew chapter 14:30, but when he saw the wind, then he was afraid and he began to sink. So Peter actually took that leap to step out of the boat, and he actually walked on water. He actually was doing it in search of God because he trusted. So he did it, right? But then he got distracted. He got distracted by the winds and he started to sink. Now, I want you to just remember something. There's nothing that you can't do. In fact, there's everything that your heart desires. All of those things that you want to do, you can, but you just need to take that leap and step out of the boat. Now, sinking. I believe in, now I've had many businesses and I have many businesses still today. And what I can say being in the position that I'm in is don't be afraid to sink, right? You have to understand that in order for you to get to a place that God that he has for you, you have to go through all of the seasons. You can't rush the washing machine, so to speak. You have to go through all of the seasons, right? Because if you didn't know what it was like to fail and you got to the top, it's going to be so hard for you to understand and respect the place that you're at. So I get many people saying, oh, but I'm afraid to fail. You can't be afraid of failure. Failure is one of those things, whether you like it or not, it's going to be there. The question is, are you going to continuously stay stuck in the position that you're in because you're afraid to take the leap? What if the other side is going to bring you just an amazing abundance of peace, joy, wealth, prosperity, all of those things? Because either way, it's going to be hard. Everything is hard. I always say everything is hard. It's hard being poor and it's hard being wealthy, but which one do you want, right? So, I'd rather take the wealthy side. I'd rather go and take that leap and go and figure it out, right? Now, if you stay in the boat is a comfortable place, right? But it's not something that you want to do because if you're staying comfortable, you're not growing. So that's something else that I really want to shine some light on is the fact that some people, they really, really, really are careful on the decisions that they're making every single day. They're careful on what they're investing in, right? But let me tell you something. You're spending money every single day on all of the things that life is throwing at you. But have you ever thought for one moment, are you investing in yourself? Do something you've never done to get something you never had. If you're staying comfortable, you're not growing. You need to get out of your comfort zone. Take that leap, take that 1 foot, get out the boat and start walking. Now, in scripture here, Matthew 14:31. Now, when we spoke about when Peter took that leap and he started walking on water, right? And then he started to sink because he got distracted with the wind. Matthew 14:31 says, but immediately Jesus reached out his hand and caught him. So although you're going to go through those trials, you might get distracted. Sure, you might fail. You're going to sink a little bit. In business, you're going to lose a little bit of money. In business, people aren't going to make you feel too good because they're going to be mean. They might backstab you, friends backstab you, colleagues. You might have a rock star person that is a part of your company that you either partnered with or you hired and they might quit on you, right? But you need to trust. Trust in God. Trust in Jesus. Go back to scripture. Everything is in the Bible that relates to everything that you are looking for when it comes to your business, when it comes to your personal life, every single thing. But I think more often than not, people are just so distracted by social media, by Instagram, by TikTok, by all of those things, right? So I just really wanted to pour into you right now and come on here to remind you that you can do it. You can definitely do it. You don't need another app to show you a distraction for you to take you off course of something that you truly desire. You don't need another series of episodes on Netflix to be locked into for that to just tickle your fancy and really do nothing for you. What you need is to start moving in the direction that's going to change your life forever. Start your business. Go and buy a self-development book. Go and find yourself a mentor. Go and find some new friends to hang around at a networking event that can elevate you, because iron sharpens iron. Go and make change. You know, this is the year of 2026, and it's a powerful, powerful, powerful year, which I'm super excited for. I'm already seeing a lot of people around me have breakthroughs and just moving in directions that they prayed for so many years. And I just can't wait for what the future has in store. So I pray that God blesses you, whoever is watching this video, with an abundance of everything that you long for. May He bring you peace, joy, wealth, success, and good health, because without health, this all means nothing. I love you so much for popping into my YouTube channel, and may you be great. Go be powerful, and remember that you can do it. Are you going to continue to fear, or are you going to face everything and rise? Take care. God bless you.